A popular name is the name Menachem. What is the meaning of Menachem? Menachem is the meaning of consolation. The word Menachem starts with the letter Mem and ends with the letter Mem. There are two types of Mems in the Hebrew Aleph Beis: the open Mem and the closed Mem. The open Mem alludes to exile, and the closed Mem alludes to redemption. The open Mem that alludes to exile represents the concept that evil will come from the north. There's an opening for evil to enter. As we find that one of the reasons why the Torah begins with the letter Beis, the letter Beis has 3 lines to it. The 4th side is opened. Our rabbis tell us that the reason why God created the world with Bereshis, with the letter Beis, is because the world in essence has only 3 sides to it. The north side has no mass, has no earth beneath the ice cap of the North Pole. And if someone comes along and says that he is God, we say to him, really, if you're God, go and complete the 4th side of the universe. Go and complete the 4th side of the world. So the idea of the open Mem represents hardship and difficulty and pain and suffering. And Menachem, the final Mem in Menachem, represents bringing an end to the pain and the end to the suffering, bringing closure. And we find this in 2 psukim in Tanakh. In the prophets, we find there's a verse in Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse number 13. It says over there, Chomeis Yerushalayim Heim Pertzim, that the walls of Jerusalem, they are breached. The word Heim is spelled Hey, Mem, but the Mem is not a closed Mem that is normally at the end of the word, but rather it is an open Mem. In contrast, we find a verse in Isaiah that we have a closed Mem in the middle of a word. It says over there, Lemarbe, to increase the leadership and the peace for all eternity, alluding to Moshiach, that he will have tremendous power and peace in the world. And there, in the word lemarbe, to increase, you have a closed Mem that is normally at the end of a word in the middle of the word. And all of this comes about through the hard labor of the Jewish people throughout the days of exile, when things were difficult and things were dark and things were painful. Yet the Jews considered and continued to be committed to God and committed to Torah and mitzvahs. They are the ones that bring about the closure in the world and a closure to the letter Mem. And this also explains why we find that Moshiach begins with the letter Mem. The letter Mem of Moshiach is an open Mem. And if Moshiach has to bring closure to the world, you would think that Moshiach should have a closed Mem. But perhaps there are 2 answers to this question. Number 1 is to tell us that the reward that the world will experience when Moshiach comes will be a reward based on our actions throughout the days of exile. That a Jew, even though he's in exile, goes to daven with a minyan, and a Jew in exile gives charity, and a Jew in exile puts on tefillin, and a Jew in exile lights the Shabbos candles, and a Jew in exile lights the Hanukkah candles, and a Jew in exile goes to the mikveh. These are the things that God finds to be very holy and very important and very precious, and because of this, God brings about a closure to the exile. So the Mem of Moshiach, the open Mem of Moshiach, implies it's our work throughout the days of exile that will bring about the Moshiach. Number 2 is, how do we close this open mem? Through revealing godliness in the world. Once we reveal godliness in the world, a little light dispels a lot of darkness. Therefore, the open mem will now become closed. There will be an end to Golus. There will be an end to suffering and an end to evil. And that is our mission, and primarily that will be the mission of Moshiach, to reveal godliness in the world. And because of that, Moshiach will bring the ultimate closure to creation and fulfill the purpose of creation. With this in mind, we can appreciate an interesting teaching in the Talmud. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says that there were 4 schools of thought, and each one had a different opinion on the name of Moshiach. The Gemara says, Mashamoy, what was his name? So, the Rab Shiloi, the students of the house of Rab Shiloi say that his name was Shiloi. The students of the house of Yanai say his name is Yinoin. And the students of Rabbi Chanina say his name is Chanina. And then V'yei Shemrim, there are those who say, or there's one that says, that Menachem ben Yechizkiah Shemoy, his name is Menachem, the son of Yechizkiah. So how can Mashiach have 4 names, or does he have 4 names? So the Maral of Prague has an interesting take on this Gemara, and he says that the first 3 names of Mashiach are actually accolades and praises of Mashiach, but the real name of Mashiach, says the Maral of Prague, is Menachem. And therefore, when the Gemara says that the house of Shiloi say Shiloi, and the house of Yanai say Yinoin, and the house of Rabbi Chanina say Chanina, each one is implying that Mashiach is so personable and so close to home that each one feels that he sees himself in Mashiach. This is similar to the concept of Anochi Hashem Elikecha, the first of the 10 commandments. It says, I am God your Lord, in the singular. Each Jew standing at Sinai felt God was talking directly to him. And furthermore, God spoke to the intellectual on an intellectual level. He spoke to the simpleton on a simple level. He spoke to an adult on an adult level, a child on a child level, a man on his level, a woman on her level. Every person felt connected to God on their personal level. And the same is true, each yeshiva, each house of Torah will see Mashiach in their own eyes as themselves, because they will feel totally close and totally united with Mashiach. And furthermore, says the Maral, that what is the meaning of Devei Rabbi Shiloi? What does it mean that the house of Shiloi said Shiloi is his name? Because this is, in truth, one of the aspects of Mashiach. And that is, Shiloi means Shahakel Shaloi. Everything in the world will be his. He will be the ultimate ruler. All the nations will belong to Mashiach. He will be the leader of not only the Jewish people, of Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, but he will be the leader of Kol Ha'olam Kuloi, the entire world. And therefore, Shahakel Shaloi, everything belongs to him. Tevei Rabbi Yanai say Yinoin Shemoy. His name is Yinoin. Why? Yinoin is a name of greatness, implying rulership and leadership. Mashiach will be the ultimate in greatness. He will be Nasi Alikim, will be a prince of God. And finally, the house of Rabbi Chanina say Chanina Shemoy, because this implies that Mashiach will possess the ultimate quality of Chen. Chen is charm, Everyone will want to shake the hand of Moshiach. Everybody will want to be in his presence. He will be a true charmer, because that will be his innate nature. He will be a person of tremendous chen, a person of tremendous charm. Everyone will want to be his friend. No one will say he's a bad person, oh, I don't like him. On the contrary, every single person in the world unanimously will vote for Moshiach. However, what is his name? His name is Menachem ben Yechizkiah. His name is Menachem. Why? Because the word Menachem, as we said earlier, means consolation. He will bring the ultimate consolation to the world. And he will return the souls to the downtrodden, and to those that have transpired, and those who have left the world. He will bring about the resurrection of the dead. And that is the concept of consolation, that is Menachem ben Yechizkiah. Why do we say he's the son of Yechizkiah? When it came to the other three, we don't say who the father is. On a simple level, perhaps, we can say that the Gemara is telling us that Moshiach has to be someone who is born from a father and a mother. Not only a mother, but also a father. A biological, physical father of flesh and blood. But on a deeper level, says the Maral that Menachem ben Yechizkiah is to teach us that not only will he bring consolation, which is Menachem, but also Yechizkiah is from the word of chizuk. He will bring strength to people. He will give them courage. He will give them inspiration to move on and to acquire greater heights. What is the Gematria of Menachem? Menachem equals 138. The Mem is 40, the Nun is 50, the Ches is 8, and the Mem again is 40. So you have 138. What is 138? In Misper Cotton, if you remove the zeros, you have 13 and 8. 13 is the Gematria of Echad, 1. He's going to bring the entire world under Hashem Echad, under one God. Furthermore, he's going to reveal Hashem Echad, the one God, to the entire world. Because the word Echad equals 13. Aleph is 1, Ches is 8, Dalet is 4. And then you have the second part of the number, which is 8. 8 represents a concept beyond Teva, beyond nature. There are 7 days to the week. 7 is nature. 8 is beyond nature. It says that the kinnor, the harp of Moshiach, will consist of 8 strings, because Moshiach will live in a world that is beyond nature. But that's in the Misper Cotton. But the word 138 has already been explained by our sages, that Menachem, which is 138, is the same Gematria as the word Semach. We say in the Amidah, as Semach David Avdecha Me'edet Atzmiach. Semach is one of the names of Moshiach, Semach Shemoy, because he will sprout forth the redemption. So Menachem is consistent with Semach. Furthermore, on a dreidel in the land of Israel, it says Nez Gadol Haya Po, Nun Gimel Hey Pei. If you add up Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Pei, it equals 138. And so too Mashiach will bring about Nez Gadol Haya Po, right over here. Mashiach will not only be in Israel, in Yerushalayim, but Moshiach will teach the entire world, and each person will feel the miracle right here in their life. What is the pasuk for Menachem? The pasuk for Menachem, which we say at the end of the Amidah, which begins with the letter Mem and ends with the letter Mem, is found in Proverbs 15, number 30. The pasuk says, "Me'od einayim yisamach lev, shmua tova tedash en otza." What does that mean? That enlightened eyes bring joy to the heart, gladden the heart. And a good news fattens one's bone. Here too we could say that the pasuk implies the role of Moshiach, which is Menachem. What is the role of Moshiach? To bring about God to the world, that every person will see God with their own eyes. As it says, Exile. The prophet tells us that when Moshiach will come, even one's flesh will see God. And therefore there'll be no doubt, does God exist? Because each person will know God exists, because they will see God with their own eyes. And furthermore, Shmur Tova, they'll hear good news. By learning Torah, they will hear the ultimate good, and this will bring about a fattening of the bone, which literally means health and gesund and long life. As you know, once Moshiach will come, no longer will there be death, because after the resurrection of the dead, we will live forever, the soul and the body. And how will one become fattened? How will one get their nourishment? It won't have to be through eating food, but rather through Shmur Tova, through good news, through the study of Torah. That will give a person their energy. And this is all found in this word of Menachem, which is the word of consolation, and therefore it's a good choice to name your child. And so we hope and pray to see the ultimate Menachem, the ultimate consolation, the rebuilding of the third temple speedily in our days.